How many sophomores were represented in this group? 100 sophomores. Okay, of those students who voted for the Hornets, how many of them are freshmen? 17. So we're looking at Hornets, and then they want to know how many are freshmen. So we got 17. Okay, of the students who voted for Lions, how many of them are sophomores? 31. Okay, now here's where we start getting a little bit of a difference. Okay, so all that's what we did on Friday, nothing new. Okay, to the nearest whole, what percentage of all students voted for Lions? Okay, so how many students voted for Lions? 59. Okay, how many students voted all together? 175. So on your calculator, you're going to say 59 divided by 175.
Do you want the whole number?
What number did you get?
0.3371.
0.3371. Okay, here's how you write this. Okay, so see how it has, so because they want it into a percent, you're going to move it, the decimal over 2, okay, which is going to be 33.7. Well, how do we round that? They want to know to the nearest whole percent.
34%.
It's going to be 34 because if it's above a 5, okay, it's going to make that go up. So it's going to be 34%. Okay, to the nearest whole, what percent of all students voted for Panthers? So how many students altogether voted for Panthers? 66. And how many students voted all together? 175. So what is 66 divided by 175?
The same thing.
No.
38%.
Is that rounding?
Yeah.
Okay, so 38%. Okay, today, make sure you guys are using a percent sign because there's going to be ones where you're doing percent and numbers, okay? So make sure the percents have that percent sign. Okay, to the nearest whole, what percent of all students who voted were freshmen? Okay, so how many freshmen voted all together? 75 out of how many students all together? 175. So what is 75 divided by 175? 0.42 4285. So what is that going to be for the percent?
42.8.
Okay. So it's going to be what? 43. Okay, so we know that our first two numbers, that's going to make that a percent, and because this is an 8, okay, it makes this one go up. Okay, so it's going to be 43%. Okay, the next one talks about bird baths. Okay. And this is, again, like what we did the other day. There's a little difference, nothing crazy. Okay, so the easiest way is to start at the beginning and fill in one by one what it says. Okay, a store manager kept track of the size and material of 200 bird baths sold in 1 month. So where is that 200 going to go? The total. Okay, so we can't just say total because, like, what is that? Okay, so 200 is going to be that bottom box. Of these bird baths, 40% were large bird baths. So we're looking at large bird baths. So on your calculator, you're going to type in 0.40, that's 40%, times the total number, which is 200. So 0.40 times 200. What do you get? 80. So 80 were large bird baths. So that's going to go here. Okay. 54% were ceramic. So you're going to say 0.54 times 200. Huh? 108. Okay, we're ceramic. So we're going ceramic and total. That's going to be 108. Okay, 8% were small wooden bird baths. Okay, so you're gonna say 0.08 times 200. Okay, don't type in 0.8 because that's the 80. Okay, so 0.08 times 200. What is that? 16. So 16 were small wood. So we got small and wood. Would it be 16? The store sold 24 large plastic bird baths. Okay, so there's nothing to do there. We got large plastic. It's going to be 24. Okay. The store sold 40 more plastic bird baths than wooden. Okay, so, and this is where it gets a little tricky. So we don't know either of these, right? So we're going to have X and X. Which one sold more, the plastic or the wooden? The plastic. So you're going to say plus 24 on this one. Okay. Okay, now we went through everything. They gave us everything on there. The easiest way to do these, you can't like pick this column because there's only one thing here. Okay, so you just need to look column by column. It should have all of them filled in but one is the only way that you can do that. Okay, so all of these are filled in but one on this row. So you're going to say 200 minus 80, and that's going to give us what? 120. So we can fill that part in. Okay, so I can't do this row because there's two empty. I can't do this row because there's two empty. This one, however, we can do. Okay, so, and this one's a little bit trickier, and I'm going to write it off to the side. So you're going to say 200, because that's our total, minus that 108, minus 24. Okay, do that. What number do you get? 68. Okay. Now, we know between the two of these, we have X and X. So you're going to say divided by 2. So what is 68 divided by 2? 34? Okay, so 34 is essentially our X. So 34 is going to go here. Well, we know that this one sold 24 more than that one. So what is 34 plus 24? 58. What other box can we fill in? The wood, the large wood. So you're going to say 34 minus 16 is going to give us this one. 18. What other box can we fill in next? Okay, we can do plastic. 58 minus 24. Huh? 34? Okay. What box can we fill in next? We can do the small. 120 minus 16 minus 34. 70? Okay, and then last box, 80 minus 18 minus 24. Or on the flip side of that, you could do 108 minus 70. Okay, either way. 38? Okay, if something's not right, and if you guys know Miss Hanson did it wrong this morning. She's like, I don't understand, there's something wrong with my box. Okay, all of these boxes, these three should add up to be 120. These three should add up to be 80. These three should add up to be 200. These ones should add up to be 200. These ones should add up to be 34, 58. These ones should add up to be 108. I'm not saying check your work, but that is an option, okay? So now that we got this filled out, how many small ceramic bird baths were sold? 70. How many plastic bird baths were sold? Huh? 58. How many large wood bird baths were sold? Large wood. 18. How many more, and this is the one question that a bunch of you guys got wrong Friday. I don't know why you got confused about how many more. How many more small bird baths were sold than large bird baths? Okay, so how many small did we sell? 120. How many large did we sell? So what is the difference? 40. So there was a 40 difference. Okay, that's essentially what they're wanting to know. How many more small were sold than large? Okay, this one you guys are going to do. However, I'm going to give you this box. It's going to be X, and this one's going to be that X plus 20. Okay, so write yourself a note. It is just like the one we did before this. Okay? Okay, flip to the next page about hats. Make sure you're on the same one as me. Okay, a souvenir stand sells men's and women's hats. The hats are either red or blue, okay? The number of each type of hat sold in 1 week are shown. So we've got men's hats, women's hats, and I could go and say, do you want a red or blue hat? Do you want a red or a blue hat? Do you want a red or a blue hat, okay? And those are the options. You either get men's or women's, red or blue. They've already filled out this table for you, okay? Okay, a relative frequency table means a table that's in percent. Okay, that's the only difference between this one and the one right above it. Okay, it means it's a table in percents. Okay, so anytime you see that relative or joint frequency, that means they want the percent. Okay, so all you need to do is how many men's red hats were sold? Look at your graph. Try again. Men's red. 16. So you're going to say 16 divided by the total number, which is 50. Type that on your calculator. What do you get? So what is that in a percent? What is 0.32 in a percent? 32%. So you're going to say 32%. Okay, now you're going to do women's red, which is 12. So you're going to say 12 divided by 50. So what is that in a percent? 24%. 28 divided by 50. 56%. Okay, and this is why I said you need to have the percents now because the tables they're the same, but they're different. Okay, 18 divided by 50. 36%. 4 divided by 50. 8%. 22 divided by 50. 44%. Okay, 34 divided by 50. 68%. And 16 divided by 50. 32%. And lastly, 50 divided by 50. 1, which means 100%. Okay? And this box should always be 100%. Okay? Now, although these are not, they still equal up the same. If you took 32 plus 24, you're going to get 56. 36 plus 8 is 44. Okay? 32 plus 36 is 68. Okay? And these should add up to be 100. It works the exact same. Okay? Find the joint relative frequency, meaning aka percent, okay, of men's blue hats that were sold. So how many men's blue hats were sold? 36%. Because it says this, we need it in the percent. So we're going to say 36%. Okay, and then it says interpret the data. All I want to know is and you just need one sentence. Who sold the most hats? Or who sold the least? So we know men or women's hat sold more or less. Men's hat sold more. Which hat?
Red.
Blue. So you could say men's blue hat sold the most. so you guys are gonna do, the third page and then the fourth and fifth page. Okay, those are for you. The very next page is just like the one we just got done doing. Okay? And then the last page is just, they want you to fill in the numbers. Okay, these are gonna be just numbers. Okay, so two of them are just numbers. The one about the fruit is gonna be the percentages. Okay?